All right, current situation, I'm down in Southern California. It is scorching hot to say the least. It was, the other day, it was 108 degrees Fahrenheit in here, which is 42 degrees Celsius. So it was it was uncomfortable. Well, at least for me, it was really uncomfortable. And luckily, I've come across a solution. It's not perfect, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. As I just mentioned, it was 108 degrees Fahrenheit, 42 degrees Celsius in the van the other day. Today, it's actually 2 to 3 degrees warmer Fahrenheit, but yet it's 78 degrees Fahrenheit in the van, even though it's warmer outside. So to say that the AC unit makes it more comfortable in here is definitely quite the understatement. Now for the unit setup. Like I said, it's not perfect, but here we have the cold air going out into the van, and then we also have the ambient air circling back through, so it's doing a cycle, circulating the cold air through here, and then we have the rest of the unit on the other side. This is the main cabin portion of the van where the driver's seat and the passenger seat are. So this is what it looks like. It's not pretty right now. I'll make do with it, especially for it cooling it down to 78 degrees from 108 degrees Fahrenheit. Here we are on the other side of our contraption where the driver should be. Back there's a cargo area, living quarters, whatever you want to call it. So this is the main machine. This right here is the evaporator outlet, cold wind outlet, if you will. And this is the evaporator inlet. And that's where the normal ambient air that's in the back cargo area goes in, and you have that circulation of the cooling air. Now, as far as, I don't think I've really said the name of it. So this is the Bouge RV portable air conditioner. On the other side, so we have the condenser outlet, so that's where the hot air goes out, and then also it's the condenser inlet, so that's where the normal air intake comes in. Now I do have it set up on this stool so that it's high enough to where the drain hose, because it does produce condensation as it's cooling, so the drain hose goes out, and then the hoses are obviously out, and then here's where the power is, and that's connected to an AC brick with a power cord going out. You have that option, or you can, it's a DC unit, so you can hook it up to a battery as well, and it does come with cables in order to connect that. All right, now we have the unit display / interface. So you have your fan speeds. You have 3 different options for that. You have the temperature control, so you can set your thermostat warmer by pressing plus or colder by pressing minus. And then you have your manual settings and your power settings. Now with the manual settings, you have cool mode, which you can choose what temperature you want to set it at. Whereas if you go to the next mode, which is just high power, to where it drops the temperature down all the way and has the fan up all the way, you can't control that. And then you have your night mode, which brings the fan down so it's more quiet at night. And then you have just the fan mode, so it shows that it's 82 degrees right now. Up next, let's get into the technical specs. Okay, so now when it gets to the technical specifications, the important ones are cooling capacity, which is 2,899 BTU, which means that it should adequately cool down a space that's around 43 to 45 square feet. This van is 12 by 6 by 6, which equates to about, I think it's 72 square feet. And I think that it does an adequate job. So I do think that it works a bit above what it's supposed to, at least from my experience. And I'm sure the insulation that I have in the van definitely helps out as well, in addition to there being some of the space closed in because of the build. It's rated for 24 volts, DC powered, like we had mentioned before. So it does come with a AC plug, and then it also does have a DC plug, so depending on which way you want to hook up. The sound level, 45 decibels. I have that on, it's in the front compartment. I'm back here sleeping and it's perfectly fine for me. But then again, I do enjoy, or I do like sleeping with a fan on. The weight is 10.5 kilograms. I guess that's the tech specs, but like I was mentioning before, it's not perfect. And one of the things, and before I get into what's not perfect about it, the unit was sent to me. I wasn't paid to do this promo. For me, it was actually heaven sent, because I wouldn't be in here doing this review right now inside the van. I would have melted away already if I didn't have the unit. So yeah, So back to that, they didn't pay me, they haven't seen this video. I'm just putting this up as my honest review. Real quick, sorry for the interruption, but as I was editing this video, the temperature in here got up to 95, and thermostat is on the metal, there's no insulation, and it was, I think, around 96 degrees outside, which is still better than what it would have been without the AC, because it's like an oven in here. You get the metal on the van on the outside warm up and everything in here just bakes, so it would have easily been, I'd say, 115 to 120 degrees in here, so it was still a lifesaver. And after a while, I did want to take a nap. Is it okay that I say that I take naps? So I'm confessing to you that I take naps. So yes, so I took a little afternoon nap, a little siesta. And what I did was I grabbed this hose right here, I pointed it down, and then I slept on the ground right here. I just took like a 15-20 minute nap, and I was very comfortable. I was curious to see what the temperature was on the ground on top of me, and so I grabbed the thermostat, put it on my chest, and it read 74 degrees. So I think 74 degrees Fahrenheit is 23 degrees Celsius. I'll put something in here if it's wrong, but I think that's right. So yeah, just wanted to add that little tidbit in here. So this is gonna be a little hack, if you will. Point it down, point it on you, and if the rest of the van or enclosure, wherever you're at, is too hot, stand right in front of it, and it will at least cool you off to at least 74 degrees, which is fairly comfortable. So what's not perfect? Obviously the setup with the hoses going out the van window. So what I've started to do is I've made a template of the van window. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut out a hole for each hose and put the hose through, and then also a hole for the drain plug to go through, as well as extension cord. And what is the other thing? And then the hoses going through the curtains, they are blackout curtains, and there is a bit of, I guess, insulation with those curtains, because when I do have them up, that does keep a majority of that ambient heat out of the back living area. So I actually don't mind the setup. Yeah, it could have a cleaner presentation, but for the time being, I don't mind it. Again, going from 108 degrees Fahrenheit, 42 degrees Celsius in the van a couple days ago, and the fact that it's hotter outside, but it's cooler in here. Right now it's 78 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, all in all, I do think that this does punch above the weight class, so I definitely approve. I guess I'll link everything below, and if you have any experience with this portable air conditioner, or if you have other options for us out there, let us know in the comment section below. Until the next one, peace.